After 3 weeks of the government shutdown, many individuals in America have felt the pinch. National parks across the nation have closed, and many government workers have been asked to stay at home with no pay. The big question to ask ourselves is how this affects our daily lives, and most importantly, the lives of the thousands of teenagers living in Laredo. It seems that what happens in Washington should not have an effect here in the small border town of Laredo and its residents. But we talked to J.W. Nixon High School government teacher, Miss Jamie Cheney, to tell us about how this may affect a common teenager in Laredo.
The effects are minimal. I would say that for teenagers in general, there is no major effect unless it lasts longer. But also it affects the parks, the national parks. A lot of them were closed down. The employees are on furlough at the moment. And if it continues, they don't know when they will reopen them. Are the ones that are majorly affected because there are several agencies that have put employees on furlough, and because these employees are on furlough, they will not get, many times they won't get paid, or they will get paid later.
Therefore, if you plan to travel to any national landmark, they will be closed, and some families employed by the government will face hard times due to the lack of pay. Next, we talked to Ms. Linda Seguirre, also from J.W. Nixon, about the long-term effects of the government shutdown.
The long-term effects of a government shutdown would be that it would be a lot more obvious than it has been up to now. It really hasn't been in the spotlight because it's a very recent situation. But the funding would be cut for several federal programs. And therefore, programs that assist kids like TANF and food stamps and other programs would eventually start to tighten the belt and cut people off, which obviously in the long run would be very detrimental to places like Laredo, Texas.
So if the shutdown were to persist for more than 1 month, it could cause a wave of harm to the lives of many individuals. The livelihood of many people that depend on government assistance will drastically change as a result of loss of funding. Places such as Head Starts for young children and domestic violence shelters for those seeking a sanctuary will be forced to close as a result of grant loss. Government-funded financial aid will be limited even more. The dependence of those in need will shift from the federal government to the private individuals. Today is the time to save our pennies and make the most out of them. For VMT News, this is Luis Bravo.